All right, everybody. Hope you're having a good day. So previously we talked about the bag class, and we did a bag class in both arrays and in linked lists, right? And a bag was just a bunch of stuff, and we did it with integers. All right. Now I said hold on to your hats because if you can do it with integers, you can do it with anything. And that's what we're going to talk about at the beginning of lecture today before we jump into subsequent material. So we're going to redo the bag class, but with an idea called generics. And generics are important in Java. What they are is a generic is a placeholder for a type, okay? So it's a type to be named later, okay? So it's like you can define a class with a bunch of blanks in it. And then when you create an object of that class, you define what those blanks will be, okay? And those blanks are types. So basically, you can, and when I say class, I mean class or interface, can define a class or interface with a placeholder for a type that is specified when one creates an object of that class, okay? And the class can keep it generic in the interface or define it. Don't worry about that right now. Just think about this in terms of what that means for, let's say, this interface, okay? So we have an interface, and what we're gonna do, so we have a bag interface, and what we're gonna do first is we're going to update that interface to not just work with integers, but to work with anything that's an object, okay? Now, that means that generics, there's a few rules with generics. One is that they only work with object types. So you can't, sorry about that, so you can't have a small I integer, but you can have a big I integer, because a big I integer is an object type, okay? So no primitive types. And the second thing is, you don't know the methods a generic type has. Okay, so you don't know the methods a generic type has, all right? And that's where interfaces become important, because if you don't know what the generic type is, but you know that you make the requirement that it has to specify an interface, you know that it has to have all the interface methods. Okay, remember, an interface is a group of public methods that is defined by a class. It's guaranteed to be defined by a class when that class implements that interface, okay? So we're gonna do this kind of quick and dirty, but it's important that you understand that this is possible so that later on you can always come back and review this when you see this again. You'll be like, oh, that's generics. I gotta go look at that stuff again. All right, so it'll be quick and dirty, but it'll be very useful, I think, as you go on. It's a Java thing primarily, as you go on in Java. All right, see you next video.